What percentage of your sets do you go to failure on? The weight is not the most important thing. This is always a crazy idea. Taking these shortcuts, I make sure that I really shocked every portion of my delt. Shoulder days are a lot of fun. You don't have to really overcomplicate or overthink any of the movements. So I haven't really been getting, I feel like, my fair share of biceps this week. So I might hit in a little bit biceps at the end or incorporate some throughout the workout. But other than that, it's gonna be a really good shoulder day. It's early morning, it's a little bit rainy. So hopefully we don't get a lot of people in the gym, which, you know, if you're a morning person that goes to the gym, you understand, like, I'm going there to be by myself. I'm not really going there to, you know, socialize and be around a lot of people. That's the point of going early morning. So hopefully we get that empty gym feeling. It's always hype to get the gym, you know, basically to yourself. It looks like you kind of own the gym. So it's early morning. You know how we get down in the mornings. So let's get it. When you come in here early in the morning, it's really easy to be like, I'm tired, I'm sluggish, I don't really feel like it. I should have stayed in the bed today, or maybe I should have slept in a little bit longer. You gotta leave all of that at the door. If that's your mentality when you're coming in here, as soon as you touch the weight, and that's what you're thinking, your workout's gonna be terrible. It doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter if I got an elbow ache. And I know later on in the day, I'm gonna feel my shoulders, because I know I went as hard as I possibly could when I step in here for the entire session. I didn't take any shortcuts. I made sure that I really shocked every portion of my delt. Probably gonna stay with 70s because I'm doing these side raises in between, and I'm really trying to make sure that I'm just reaching complete failure with the side raises. So even when I can't get all the way up to the top and get a full rep, I'm just going partial or halfway, but I'm making sure I'm still squeezing it at the top. Those partial reps are something that I just kind of incorporated. They've been helping me tear up my shoulders pretty well, I'd say, getting a little extra push at the back end of the set. The weight is not the most important thing. How you're killing your shoulders is the most important thing. So I feel a good amount of tension. I'm getting exhausted from pushing the weight, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Get that volume up on the rear delts, try and get like 20 reps. At rear delt, a lot of people like to neglect. I'm trying to burn it out, so I'm gonna get a high amount of volume, good amount of intensity on there. Make sure I don't go too heavy. You don't really need that much weight for rear delts, but I'm trying to hit 15 to 20 reps each time I'm doing the rear delts. That way, I should feel these in the morning. All right, so these are normally one of the biggest staples in my shoulder day, but today I want to switch it up and start with the presses. I normally always start with the cables just because, you know, it always create a lot more tension than you can with the dumbbells. But today I'm gonna end this shoulder section with the cables, and then we're gonna do a drop set on the military press machine. But we're gonna do a superset behind the back, always go behind the back, I just feel like I get a better stretch when I'm reaching all the way behind here and pulling it up. And then I'm gonna do some front raise. So we're gonna do about 4 or 5 sets behind the back and the front raise. And then we're gonna do a drop set, and then we're gonna blow these biceps out before we get out of here. This is always a crazy idea. Someone asked me a question in my comments the other day on YouTube. They said, what percentage of your sets do you go to failure on? I was like, that's a pretty good question. Like, I've never actually thought of it like that. I've never really put in my mind when I'm going into the workout, like, all right, this amount of sets I'm going to failure, this amount of sets I'm just trying to hit a certain rep range and leave a couple reps in the tank. And I feel like my comment back was, it was all right. I don't feel like it was the best advice to give. So percentage of sets to failure. So when I go into the set, I kind of know when I pick up the weight, how many reps I can get just based off past experience. So I might be grabbing a weight and I'm like, I know I can get 12 to 15 with this. And as I'm pushing the weight, like, it's easy to get to that 15 reps. Then, I'm gonna get to the 15 reps and I might try and crank out a couple more. But for the most part, once I get in the set, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, I'm setting a higher rep goal for myself. So like, if I know I could probably only hit 10, I'll say to myself, like, let me see if I can hit 12 right now. Let me see if I can get there. So it ends up being a lot of my sets are actually to failure because I'm trying to push myself to that higher rep range. Even though I might not necessarily think of it that way, when I take a step back and I'm like, how many sets do I actually, what percentage of sets do I actually go to failure? It's actually more than I would think just off the top of my head, just because I'm always trying to push to that higher rep count. Even if I go up in weight, I'm trying to push. So a lot of my sets are actually to failure.